Hello, welcome back to the channel. We have a new Abyssal banner. So in this video, let's go ahead and do a review of that. Abyssal Griff is here. And he's looking strong, looking really good. It's coming in the hybrid role. Of course, stats are jacked. Defense is pretty good too. Of course, this is max exalted. And A4 to get that attack of 10,000. The character skill is always the first thing I want to know about. And huge multiplier on a 4 hits. B gauge. Alright, not too bad, but this has a party valiance. And that 45 seconds is really crucial these days for Subjugation, now that we have the new Quest 5 Subjugation. It's changed the game a little bit in how we want to prioritize what we're looking for, and all of those 30-second buffs and 30-second like defense breaks out there, they're just not cutting it because they're going to wear off by the time knockdown is over. And it's pretty important to get those SS plus scores now. It's the only way to get those purple coins to get those really important upgrades on those Subjugation weapons. And it can be pretty tough and quite a headache, of course, to reset and reset and reset until RNG goes your way. But this is just what you're looking for, 45-second buff. I like it. And we have the usual drawback of Abyssal characters, that they're slow. And for a lot of Subjugation strats, that can matter less. You know, because a lot of times you're waiting around with your skills totally full anyway. I wouldn't really recommend Abyssal characters in other PvE content because it kind of messes up your flow of combos. It's harder to get in between those bosses' actions. So, you know, the usual, what we expect, the slow cooldowns and then the big boost to the right element weapon. The extra passive from Awakening is Bold Vigor, and we love Bold Vigor, don't we? 20% when above 70, so it's not like it's a dynamic, and it's not huge because it is a third passive. And then some more debris I would just not know what to do with. Defense up, agility down. Blah. Okay, so on to the weapon, and of course this is usually the star of the banner is the weapon. And this thing is top tier for sure. Attack is pretty high. We have another one of these skills that require using the a gun user, okay? So to get the light buff, and that light buff is awesome, and it's at 100% multiplier 5 hit, so it's kind of like an EX where you get the light buff. Really awesome. It also has a defense break, 30 seconds. Of course, you're going to be using these skills. If you're maining this like in a Subjugation knockdown, you're going to use it in the knockdown, so you'll be able to take advantage of that and not have it wear off by the end of knockdown. And if you're just using it as a sub-weapon, it's top tier as well. We have a Lucid Boon and Dynamic Bold Vigor, which is really what we want there. So up to 30 when you're above 70, and if you're all the way up to 100, it'll be 30. So you have to, increases the higher you go. All right, I'm really liking the rest of the banner too. So we have this new Fist in the Fortune series. And it offers some support. So attack to the party, 30 seconds. So okay for stacking, not for being your only source to prolong it through knockdown, etc. Defense buff is kind of whatever, but it is 30 seconds. And at least we've moved on from those 10-second buffs, right? Those are really useless at this point. They can be useful in niche situations, but it's just not ideal when it's only 10 seconds. And then I still need one of these for a light weapon, the old Boon Haste combo. To be honest, I would love to land this weapon because it's a fist and it has that combo. And I've been wanting that combo for the subs on my Arena Lavania builds. So watch my last Arena recap video to see what I'm talking about there. So sure wouldn't mind getting that fist. And you know, sometimes these weapons kind of like surprise you on your pulls. Like maybe in a month or two, one of these might drop if you're lucky. But if you want it now, you gotta pull here. Okay, so also another like top tier support weapon here, the staff. We have defense break for 30 and a light buff. Okay, so really sweet. And I like that a lot. Its stats are whatever, but you know, as a main hand support weapon in Subjugation. So really, like, these Abyssal banners are becoming, you know, all about Subjugation, in my opinion. I like all three of these, and check out Zero Tube. So Zero is a player who got rank 1 in the Subjugation Showdown. And Zero just released a video. I'll put it in the card up there in the description below, where Zero used all 3 of these new items, Griff, and both of these. This was in the sub, and this was in the main on Wave 1, Light Team Subjugation. So check that out. You get to see all 3 of these in action. And it kind of brings us to the next problem. We just had a smattering of top tier banners, and you can see my gem count up there. It's not looking good. I did manage to get Fractured Marie. Really wanted that for the sword, and I got really lucky. I also got the spear, which I'm really excited about. My Celeb Sarafa is really happy about that. Of course, we just had the Celeb banners, which are always top priority, and then a surprise Celeb banner with the 2 new protagonists we've been waiting so long for. So if you have gems, awesome. You know, like, I think all of us are cleaned out. So I like this banner, sure, but can you pull on it? I don't know. I'm tempted to do some Yolos because I could really use all this help on my light team, and like I said, the fist. So, you know, it doesn't hurt to throw a YOLO in. Let's go for it. It's not a recommended strat. You really can't count on getting anything from just throwing singles, but sometimes it happens. But here and there, I'll just do this, and then I'll worry about, you know, when the next big banner comes. But there's a live stream planned, and it's likely we might be getting something juicy here coming up. You know, possibly a collab, or you know, we don't know exactly, but I wouldn't go blowing your stash on an Abyssal banner, or even doing what I'm doing now. Okay, so nothing, you know, so it was a waste, but worth the gamble for fun, I guess. You know, you play the game the way you want to play it. Okay, so those are my thoughts on Abyssal Griff banner, but you know, it's worth mentioning kind of like my renewed thoughts on Abyss banners in general. So what I always would say this whole time is just skip them, because the characters like drawback with that long cooldown is just such a deal breaker. It's not worth it, and you should really prioritize the limited banners, the collabs, and the celeb. But now we're getting to a point where at some point you're gonna need to start getting this stuff. Right, so if we head over to nierrian.guide. Oh my god, that's not it. Here we go. That's where I get my music. So I might as well give a shout out to White Bat Audio. That's where I use all of this royalty-free music for my background. So if you're looking for something to use in your videos, that's a pretty cool source. Okay, great. So the recent Abyssals, you know, here and there, there's just stuff you're going to end up needing, whether it be those extra weapons on the banner, which might again show up in your regular pulls, and that's the best strat, to just hope for that. But we've had some great stuff lately, like F66X. I'm really missing her on my account. I could really use her, and I know, I posted a video and I said skip it, and I still stand by that advice, especially because it was right around New Year's. Christmas banners, we just had New Year's, and then Celeb on the horizon. Of course, you don't want to go blowing your whole gem stash on Abyssal, but, you know, I hope to somehow get her soon, because I really need her on my wind team, along with her weapon. Abyssal Baldy ended up being really good. You know, they're strong, of course, but he's got a defense break that's useful, and I've seen him used in people's subjugation runs. And, you know, a lot of people will go for Theo just for the fist, for example. So all the weapons are top-notch. All the off-character weapons on the Abyssal banners are top-notch. At some point, you got to try to get these. Now, if you do decide to go, you know, pull on here, just like all Abyssal banners, all of the previous Abyssal units are in there. You can see that if you would scroll down the rates. It's just so tough because of all of the limited banners we're getting, and that should really be your priority. I still stand by that. It's just like, you got to figure out what's going to work for your account when you're going to go in here and gamble and try to get this juicy Abyss stuff. I might even renew my general pull advice to prioritize collabs even more than celeb. But I want to know what you think of that. The reason I say that is because, take Sino, for example, and we got some really top tier stuff on the Sino Alice banner, and we have yet to have another chance to get any of those. We have celeb reprints all the time. We've had a chance to get the, you know, 1.5 any celeb units again before this one, and you know, I can't even remember if the FF14 collab ever came back on a reprint. Maybe, remind me if it did. But we also have not got a chance to get the Persona collab units again, and I would love to get some dupes of Joker and Crow especially. So if there's a collab coming up, definitely save, just in case there is. You know, you just never know when you're going to see those units again. So, celeb, seasonal, of course, those are high priority, but they tend to come back. But at the same time, if you miss them, you're really hurting. But those collabs that like seem to be the most rare. Just something to think about. Do with that information, you know, what you will. And in any case, that's all I have for this video. As always, thanks so much for watching, and if you like what you see here, throw a like on the video and a sub on the channel. It's much appreciated. See you in the next one.